Well, joining me now is someone who's being sued for spreading the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop. Former Trump aide and independent journalist currently facing a lawsuit from Hunter Biden to squash any use of anything that was on that laptop, by the way. His name's Garrett Ziegler. Also joining us is the Vice President and Legal Counsel representing Garrett with Advocates for Faith and Freedom, Mariah Gondeiro. Mariah, Garrett, it's great to have you both on the program. Garrett, let me start with you. You faced a lawsuit from Hunter Biden. He didn't show up today. He was invited to show up today. He didn't show up. What was your response, knowing that much of what was in the laptop is at the heart of what was being talked about today?
Well, it's not surprising. You know, it took a court order for Hunter to pay attention to his baby girl. This is somebody who ignored his own child for years. So the idea that he would ignore a congressional request is just par for the course. This is the character of the man. This is the character of his father. Remember, Joe knew that he was going to defy the first congressional subpoena, and he went out on the sticks on December 13th. This is somebody, again, who truly believes the rules do not apply to him because they never have really. And absent a federal conviction, the most we can do is put out the authentic data from the device. And as Mariah will tell you, we're getting sued for that now because this is Marco Polo, our little C3, has delivered the closest thing to accountability that Hunter Biden has ever felt in his life. And his only goal and his only response is just lawfare and filing ridiculous, frivolous suits.
Look, the Pentagon Papers is a Supreme Court ruling that basically ruled that even stolen information, as long as you didn't steal it, if it comes in possession of it, you're allowed to spread that out there. And do you have any regrets at all spreading the laptop information, getting the contents out there into the public eye?
No, and I would do it the exact same way. We have provided free of charge all of the emails from the device. Everybody watching this tonight can go to bidenlaptopemails.com and download and view and search by keyword all of the emails. What we are creating is a permanent digital repository, and that's a public service. That's exactly what our charity is about. And I was not the first person to get the content. So from a legal perspective, beyond just all of our publishing rights, it's so weak what they have against us. They're talking about a California state regulation about defrauding the consumer. And guess what, Grant? They said that us covering up genitalia is defrauding California consumers because, so by their own logic, his attorneys want me to show their clients genitalia by that logic.
Mariah, let me ask you. One, I think there's a case of they're trying to get a favorable judge because they go to California in this case. They know they're going to get somebody that's going to side with Biden. You're asking that this judge be removed. Are you questioning his integrity? Why should the judge be removed in this case?
Yes, and I want to preface this by saying that the standard is whether a reasonable observer could question the judge's impartiality and question whether the judge could be biased. And we believe, based upon the surrounding events and circumstances of this case, that the judge's impartiality could be questioned, given the fact that he donated to President Joe Biden. He was also assigned to this case merely 3 months after his appointment. He was pushed through with a partial vote. He barely got through as a judge. And also, this case involves, although it's brought against Hunter Biden, it implicates President Joe Biden. The relief they're seeking is essentially an injunction, which would stop our client from disseminating the information he has, which could impact President Joe Biden's re-election campaign.
If they ruled on this, would they have to somehow, would they not be able to use the information in these congressional hearings, the impeachment hearings? I mean, the information's already out there. I don't know how you stop or pull that back. The cat's already out of the bag.
It would be impossible because so many other people have access to this information. One of the important things to note is that a lot of this information had already been out before they brought this lawsuit against our client. And the timing of this lawsuit is very suspect. They brought it right after impeachment inquiries started. But as I stated before, a lot of people already had access to this information. They can't pinpoint the source of where all this information came from, given all that information.
Real quick, let me play cut 11 to the guys behind the glass for you. Garrett, I want to get your response to this from today. This is NBC News. Watch.
House Republicans are really trying to find some sort of spark for an impeachment investigation that just hasn't caught fire. They're bringing in Tony Bobulinski, he's testifying now, a former Hunter Biden business partner, who will say that the Biden family was selling access and influence based on Joe Biden's public office, and that, as he puts it, they sold out to foreign actors who were seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government. The problem, of course, is that the inquiry has not produced a shred of concrete evidence showing that Joe Biden did anything illegal.
Garrett, I'm going to give you the last word. You've got one of the main files from the laptop with a lot of the stuff that's in all of these inquiries. Not a shred of evidence?
That's a complete lie. I would urge Ken at NBC to look up a 1938 law called the Foreign Agent Registration Act. That was essentially Hunter's business model, was violating the FARA. Joe Biden acted as an unregistered agent for the foreign principal of CEFC. He met with Tony twice to talk about the CEFC grift, and whether he was in office at the time is irrelevant. Hunter screamed at his partners because he thought they owed him back pay from the time Joey was in office. They're unregistered agents. All of the money they collected from the Chi-Coms can be seized via the FARA statute because it was all laundered money.
Well, great work, Garrett Ziegler. I think
much.
I can honestly say everybody on our side of the aisle, on our side of thinking, who believe in American values, is grateful for what you and others did to get this information out there. And Mariah, Gondeiro, you are always on the front lines defending people who deserve defenses in this stuff. Thank you as well to the both of you. All right.